Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got some Eibach springs installed on the Stinger last night. Shout out to Arash and Taylor, my buddies who helped me out with this. Man, I am super impressed with the Eibach springs. They sit nice, they ride nice, they're really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around. And so right off the bat, you notice a lot of that wheel gap is gone, but it still sits about, I'll say about 1.5 inches right off the body. So it allows for a good, travel. So you're not rubbing, you're not worried about rubbing or hitting any dips, hopefully, and hitting the body of the car or just messing up your tire or your wheel. I decided to go with the Eibach over the H&R because I was high on H&R. I heard great things about them, but the drop on the H&R was 1.2 inches and the Eibach is 0.8. So around that half an inch difference, that was the big kicker for me because look, clearance. I got clearance, but my driveway, I have a hill on my driveway. So I don't know if you guys can see that through the translation of the lens, but it's about a 6-inch elevation from the street. So I need to be able to back in, I need to be able to pull out without damaging my front lip or bumper. Plus, I want to park in parking spots. I don't want to be paranoid as I'm driving. But back to the review of the Eibach springs. Like I said, the ride quality, it feels better than factory. And the handling is just amazing, man. So if you guys have a Stinger and you hadn't pulled the trigger on springs, you can't go wrong with H&R, but I vote the Eibach Pro spring because, man, they're just awesome. They're just awesome. So I'm going to pop the trunk. I have the box here. So yeah, I think that's the serial number, but all you gotta do is go to the K8 store or go to any type of store that sells Stinger accessories and make sure it's the Eibach Pro, and those would be those type of springs. So if you guys do have springs on your Stinger, please show in the comments why you chose that spring, and how, if you're happy with it, or if you change springs or any of that good stuff. I didn't get to get as much video as I liked for the install because we're on a time crunch. But man, I tell you, it was 3 of us, and man, I was more like an assistant, but it was 3 of us, and it only took about 2 hours to install all the springs and have the car back down off the lift. Now, if you're doing this at home, it'll probably take you about 3.5 hours because you're jacking. About 3.5 hours because you're having to jack up the car on each side, take the wheel off, and then rinse and repeat another 3 times. Most shops, if you shop around, they're going to want to charge you 4 to 5 hours labor. It'll run you about $600 for the install, at least here in North Texas. If you are mechanically inclined and you have 2 other buddies that are the same, or better, or know a little bit more stuff, it wasn't hard. It's not hard. But if you don't know what you're doing, take it to a shop, get it done right, that you don't have any worries. Also, it's also recommended, when you install springs, to go get an alignment done. So we'll be going to do that alignment a little bit later today. And then on side note, I have the springs. I have there's a few things that I've done. So I'm now on map 3, pushing E30. So the last time I was at the track, I was running about anywhere from 12.4 to 12.6 on map 2, pump 93, and I was running 116 mile per hour traps, which isn't bad. So I now have the torque TCU, and I'm running map 3 E30. So I'm hoping I could at least touch 11s, maybe 11.9 or 11.8, because I feel like with the TCU tune, I'm pushing an upgrade in octane, and so hopefully I can knock off 3 to 4 tenths of a second. I mean, the torque tune itself says it will knock off 3 tenths of a second, and using my draggy, it absolutely did in the 0 to 60. I hadn't had a chance to check it on a quarter mile yet. But thank you guys for tuning in to the channel again, and we'll catch you on the next one. Alright guys, putting some E-Box springs on the Stinger. Been holding on to it for a while, finally getting it done. Check out this badass ZL1. Maybe one day, maybe one day. So, welcome back to your channel. Getting springs put on the Stinger, and so we'll do before and after pictures. I'll get back to y'all as soon as I can.
That's why I kept running.
This is a hell of a setup. I need to step up my garage game. Look at this. We got the AC units, the lift. It's ready. I'm doing it wrong, guys. We gotta get it right.